Well, over the past 2 weeks, Donald Trump seems to be losing it a little bit. He's shortened his public appearances. He started calling for impeaching federal judges. And perhaps most importantly, he's resurrected those post-midnight, rage-filled, stream of consciousness rants. And I think it's clear the president has lost the plot here. And if you don't believe me, let's just go look at his Truth Social account from Sunday night, where he wasn't talking about policy. He was talking about this. The portrait of himself hanging in the Colorado State Capitol. Is it unflattering? Sure. Is it impactful on anyone else's lives? Actually, let me check my notes right here. It impacts literally no one. This is not what Republican voters signed up for, no matter what they might tell you on X, the Everything app. Voters want to see prices come down. They want to see the crisis at the border addressed. They don't want to see Donald Trump degenerating to the worst version of himself when he was in office the first time around. Susie Wiles, the White House Chief of Staff, needs to get this ship under control. Otherwise, the chaos boulder is going to be rolling down the hill faster and faster until eventually, like we talked about a second ago, there will be electoral consequences.
Attitudinally, I think part of the reason Trump is so much more popular now than he has been at any other point in his political life is because, like his persona in his pre-political life, he's been much more of a happy warrior.
Yeah.
Like this time around than he was, especially, oh my gosh, all of 2020 was one long I'm a victim slog. And it was just, it wasn't fun to root for, right? This reeks of a little bit of desperation. And it shouldn't be, right? He still controls the government. And in one policy arena, the second most important, immigration, Trump has won categorically. I don't think there is a single Democrat that can make an affirmative case for their immigration agenda, right? There is a reason why he's posting all the videos of DHS frog marching these Trinidad and Agua members as they deport them out to El Salvador, because the rest of the country is like, yes, we don't want these criminals here. It's like he can't fathom that the first part of the mandate, the first goal is affordability. And it does not help when Scott Bessent, who literally lived in a mansion called the Pink Palace, is saying cheap goods aren't a part of the American dream. Okay, well, like, they're not the entire thing, but isn't part of it that, like, how many people say, oh, I want to come here to buy my own house and have a nice car, and, like, it's not the only thing, but it does matter. The affordability element does matter, and Trump's never had a stock market like this that's getting so distrustful, but there's a reason why investors are squeamish of all of this, and Trump's clearly taking it personally because he used to be the market's favorite guy.
He's taking it personally, and I actually really like your point about how he was sort of the happy warrior on the campaign trail back in 2016 in those early pre-COVID years in office. This time around, it's someone else filling that role. It's J.D. Vance instead of Donald Trump, who, other than really that blow up on President Zelensky in the Oval Office, has sort of been the one to do the damage control because Trump is getting so personal with these attacks and taking it out of the policy sphere. Meanwhile, we've got J.D. Vance coming in and explaining things in a much more nuanced, again, tone is key, a nuanced sort of joyful, shout out Kamala Harris, approach. And it's startling, especially considering the sort of arm's length that the Trump White House has held Vance at, even though he's got all of these high-profile items on his policy plate. The president hasn't endorsed him ahead of 2028, even though he is the presumptive nominee. It's interesting, and I think it's sort of the cherry on top of Donald Trump's extended honeymoon period coming to an end.